Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lady K Chat podcast. I am your host, Lady K, and I am coming to you with today's show, which is called Bitter. Listen, ladies, tag them. For all the men that you know that's in this situation, forward this video to them. Tonight's show, they need to hear this. Bitter comes from bitter men that have children, and they are bitter towards the mother of their child. Not only are you bitter, but you're displaying some toxic behavior that can possibly affect the child. So I definitely urge you to tune in right now to hear this powerful message, because men, you are kings, and we need our children that you produce in this earth to be better than what we are as parents. I will see you then.
The following podcast is a Lady K Enterprises production.
Lady K.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Lady K Chat, a podcast that is designed for all women to become better versions of themselves, which is broadcast every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Various subjects will be speaked upon, such as relationships, personal development, health and wellness, wealth building, children, and so much more. She is a 2-time Amazon best-selling author, an international speaker, and life coach. She is Kalima, aka Lady K. And now for your host, Lady K.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in into Bitter and Toxic Part 1. And today, men, I am specifically speaking to you, so I'm going to need you to sit down for a couple of minutes as I just tell you about some things, because right now, you need to be told about yourself. And I'm going to tell you about yourself with love. Men, the mother of your child no longer wants you. Yes, that's the first thing that I had to say. You know why? Because your ego was so big, you can't even see what she's really trying to do because you think somebody still wants you. Please, stop it. And I'm specifically men that's listening, that's bitter and being toxic right now. I'm specifically talking to those who know that the mother of their child is 1, a good woman, 2, responsible, 3, she's on her grind and she knows what she wants. She's putting things into perspective and place for her and her children. You picked her for a reason. You saw the qualities in her. You knew that what you liked in her. So now, just because you are no longer on good terms or you might feel a certain way, that does not give you the right to belittle her, because at the same time, you knew what you did. You contribute to the reason why you're apart. And now you're upset. And that's honestly, that's your problem. Your problem is that she's not feeling you no more and you're upset. So now you're going to act like a, but I'm sorry to tell you that you're only hurting yourself and you're hurting your child. Remember, a child does not go off by what you tell them. A child goes by what they see. So what you do in your daily walk, what you do in your daily life, your children are watching you and they're watching you hard. And I want you to stop thinking, oh, because they're 2, they're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they don't get it yet. I can still say certain things. No, you can't. Let me tell you something. Those babies are sharp. They know when you don't like the other parent. They can feel your energy. They feel the vibe that you give off. So you really got to stop doing that. Stop talking about your baby mother to your friends. Stop degrading her in front of your child. At the end of the day, that is still that child's mom. And yes, I know you're no longer with the mother, but at one point you liked her. So at least have some type of respect for her. She is not trying to do you dirty. She's trying to gain your attention on some of the things that she wants to do, but you're being uncompromisable because you want to act in your childish ways. That's not going to work. I'm going to tell you this right now. For a woman who knows what she wants and have a goal in place in mind, when you come at her with childish tactics, she's going to ignore you. And you're trying to get her attention so badly, and she's showing you I don't have time for this foolishness and I will not entertain you. And then that's when you throw your hissy fit. But men, again, I'm here to tell you to grow up and see past those cases. Because let me tell you something. I understand there are some extreme cases, but in your sense, that's not it. I'm going to need you to have several seats, okay? The mother of your child is nothing but frustrated with you. This is why sometimes they act out the way they do and they try very hard to be the bigger person, but at sometimes you make it very difficult for them and they don't want to be around you. And sometimes they even might question, do they even want their child around you because you're being negative, and that does do something to the child mental health. And this, I'm trying to say this. I'm not trying to say it's right, but I'm just trying to put something into perspective for you. There are times where the mother might say that right now you're unfit because of the decisions that you make and the things that you're doing. I'm going to give you a perfect example. You're supposed to pick up your child on Monday morning to take them to school. But Sunday night, you decide to party and hang out all night, and you went to bed late, and you overslept, and she really needed you to come through. And this is not the first time you did it. You've done this several times. So now you're mad at her because you can no longer take your son to school on Mondays because you might miss a couple of pickups. But what you're not realizing, if she has to go to work and she's dependent on you to take the child to school, and you make her late more than several times, and she knows she can't be late for her job, what do you think she's going to do? She's going to change her schedule where either herself or someone else can take the child to school, and then now you're mad because you're like, oh, she's trying to keep me away from my child. No, sir. She has a job. You didn't do your job, so she had to do it for you. Yes, I know that probably hurt, but you need to feel it. This is what she's doing. The child can be sick. You're saying, hey, let me take the child. And she's telling you the child really has a really bad fever. The child is not well and they've been feeling this way for a couple of days. Can we reschedule to next week to the time that you're supposed to have him? And you're sitting there, no, but I want my child. You don't want your child. You just want to fight her, and you're being selfish. For you to want to take a child out the comfort of a home while they're sick, that's selfish. You don't even want to go nowhere where you're sick. Who house do you want to go to and who bed do you want to lay in when you're sick? Nobody. So it's the same thing too. Why would you want to think a baby want to go from house to house? You have to think, you know what? The baby's sick. I have other children. I don't want the other children to get sick. All right, I'm going to let the baby stay home and I'll come get it next week. Think like that. Come on now. Think with some common sense. Stop being so illogical. Stop always being on the fence that she's trying to hurt you. Sometimes she's actually trying to take the time to speak with you and you're ignoring her or you're not listening to her point of views. She's understanding where you're coming from, but at the same time too, when you abuse it, when you keep saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be there, and you fell short, what do you expect from her? You're not pulling your weight. So then you play the blame game. I need you to grow up. And in some case, what you guys do as well too, you get a new woman and you try to make the ex jealous. And it doesn't work. And you know why it doesn't work? Because she's over you and she really does not care about your relationship. The only thing that she cares about on the day that you're supposed to have your child, be there, come through. Not even just the days you're supposed to have your child. Do more. Let me tell you something. If a woman works a 9-to-5 or whatever her position is, right? And the child is sick and she has to constantly take off to take care of the baby and you can't. And then the time when she does need you and you do not show up. Again, this is me saying to you, what do you expect? Do you even see yourself in the situation? Do you even see how you contribute and play a big factor because she's trying to do what's necessary and best for the child, and you're not even trying to be on the same level? You're on some juvenile stuff, and she does not need that. And this is why she pays you no attention, and she does what she does. And again, you're sitting there upset. Sometimes you got to sit back and you got to evaluate all the things I just said to you. Because you see it from your level of perspective, but you're not looking at hers. So I want to say this to you, because right now you don't understand that you're operating in the boy spirit instead of the man's spirit. And again, because you're hurt and you're in your feelings, your emotion is taking more control than your actually self-control, because there is no self-control. So I'm going to say this with love to you. I think, again, you need to reevaluate everything I said. Get out your own head and go to counseling. Focus on your growth. The better you are for your child. Get to the root of your real problem and solve it. It is not healthy for a parent to constantly play tiff and tat. And I'm going to tell you another thing one more time. One more before I end. Men, stop talking about the mother of your child in front of your child. Children are very sensitive. They see and feel everything. So watch your mouth. So again, I hope you appreciate this message. I thank you for listening today. Continue to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Lady K Chat, and on my website at www.ladykenterprisesinc.com. Have a great night.
Lady K.